When someone comes back from death, do they return with the same eyes, the same ears, the same skin, or do they bring something back with them? An echo of where they've been, a way of sensing that doesn't belong entirely to the living. Tonight, we step into the world of altered perception, where color carries feeling, where sound holds emotion, where the air tightens before something unseen enters the room, where touch becomes a language spoken between worlds. I'm Candy, and this is Half Haunted Chronicles. After a near death experience, people report subtle changes in their senses. Light feels sharper, sound feels layered, touch carries meaning, but the most profound shifts aren't physical. They're interpretive, as if the senses stop filtering what they were never meant to block. Experiencers describe seeing a moment in still air, hearing emotion beneath words, smelling someone who isn't there anymore, feeling truth as pressure in the body, tasting a room's mood before anyone speaks. It's not that they gained new senses, it's that the old ones came back open. Tonight's stories explore what happens when consciousness returns, but perception doesn't fully close behind it. When someone crosses the boundary, they don't always come back with the same senses. They return able to hear, feel, and perceive what the rest of us can't. These are the senses that didn't fully return to normal. The woman who saw emotion in color. Jade nearly died during surgery. She recovered physically, returned to normal life. Afterward, she noticed flashes of color around people, not glowing outlines, something subtle. Anger appeared as restless red static. Fear shimmered pale blue. Kindness carried a soft gold warmth. One afternoon, she saw a man wrapped in a dull gray tone she had never seen before. Minutes later, he collapsed in cardiac arrest. Jade said, I didn't see energy. I saw what people were holding before they showed it. The man who heard what wasn't said. Leo was a paramedic who flatlined after a workplace accident. He returned to duty. Soon after, he began hearing a faint hum beneath people's voices, not words, intention. A patient denied chest pain after a minor crash. But when she spoke, Leo heard a sharp metallic tone. He learned danger. He pushed for imaging. She was minutes from internal rupture. Leo said, I don't hear thoughts. I hear when something doesn't line up. The girl who smelled what remained. Kayla nearly drowned as a teenager. Afterward, scents appeared with no physical source. Lilacs when her grandmother was mentioned, cigarette smoke tied to a late uncle, fresh bread when old neighbors came in conversation. 3 days before her best friend died, Kayla smelled her perfume, strong and unmistakable. Her friend was alive, healthy, until she wasn't. Kayla said, I don't smell spirits. I smell the memories they leave behind. The man who felt the veil on his skin. Ron nearly drowned at sea. He returned quieter, more aware. His sense of touch changed, not tactile, informational. Pressure settled across his shoulders when something unseen was near. Cold brushed his spine before danger. Once he stopped his wife from stepping forward, and a sudden snap in the air pressed against his skin. A truck ran the light seconds later. Ron said, my skin tells me things before my mind catches up. The woman who tasted emotion. Aisha nearly died from an allergic reaction. Afterward, emotions arrived as flavor. Sadness tasted metallic. Anger, bitter. Love, sweet. Fear, sharp and cold mint. Loneliness, ill like old bread. One day, fear flooded her mouth mid-conversation. She asked gently, what's wrong? Her coworker broke down, said she just received a serious diagnosis. Aisha said, I don't analyze feelings. They arrive on my tongue. This episode matters to me because it reframes what an NDE leaves behind. Not abilities, not gifts, awareness. Near-death experiencers don't return with sharper senses. They return with fewer filters. They notice what most of us move past. The emotional undercurrent, the quiet warning, the presence in a room that isn't physical, but is unmistakably there. Maybe touching the other side teaches a nervous system a new language. And maybe the world has always been speaking this softly. Experiencers just come back remembering how to listen. Tonight we explored the shifted senses of those who return from death, the subtle signals they perceive where others feel nothing at all. The next episode, we step into one of the most disoriented changes yet, when time itself begins to behave differently, stretching, looping, collapsing as if The experiencer never fully return to the same clock the rest of us live by. Until then, stay curious and always, always stay haunted.